Justice League Endless Winter Issue 2 finds the League battling the horde of ice monsters through Gotham's Stag Laboratories, led by Wonder Woman, who minutes before in the Hall of Justice meets her mother, who gives her the box of armor the Northman Shield Maidens gave her, saying it was given to her long ago and she never felt worthy of it because of her role in what happened back then. She wants Diana to wear it since she's more worthy of it than her. In her new Viking armor, Wonder Woman leads the charge against the Frost King's ice avatars as Superman wonders what Black Adam is doing there, telling him that they are on the same team. Adam says that the League have been useless and he doesn't need Superman's help, as Flash frees him from the King's grip. Happy to see the Kandaki King again. Elsewhere in the battle, Batman reveals that he's been monitoring Stag since the first incident in the Arctic, since he was their best chance of finding the Frost King, and it was merely a matter of which Stag facility he was using to house the family. Green Lantern isn't happy that Bruce never told him or the rest of the team, knowing Batman has major trust issues. The Frost King says that he will take back what they stole from him, as Superman tries to tell Adam that they need to stop him, but it's too late as the villain disappears. Adam yet again blames the League for letting the villain go, since he had it under control, as the Flash can't find the Frost King anywhere on the East Coast. Green Lantern, however, has found Sebastian Stagg, who admits to harvesting this slab of ice that housed the family. The man says that it was for scientific purposes, but the slab is now gone. Superman knows that the man wanted the Kryptonian crystals so he could exploit them, but Stagg doesn't want the hero to blame him, since Superman was the one who left them behind. Black Adam knows that Stagg is right and Superman's arrogance cost them, but the hero tells him to check his tone. Batman calms them, telling them he put a tracer in the ice while they fought the Avatar, and it's been traced back to the Arctic, which is where they need to go. Back at the Frost King's Citadel, the king arrives with his frozen family, knowing that they will soon all be reunited, and when they are, he can finish remaking this world in his own image. The Justice League confront the villain, telling him that they can help him and his family, but the Frost King refuses their help, refusing to give in when his victory is so close at hand. Suddenly, the Viking Swamp Thing bursts from the ground, attacking the villain and growing to giant size to combat him. The Frost King recognizes the being, knowing that he destroyed him once before and he'll easily do it again. Swamp Thing knows that this isn't Frost King's true form, and Batman knows his real physical form is somewhere nearby, and the Horde is trying to keep them from it. But Superman guarantees that won't be happening as they blow through the monsters. The Frost King cuts off one of Swamp Thing's arms as Superman knows that the glacier won't be able to hold the giant's battle much longer. However, it's too late as the whole ice shelf begins to crack and fall apart. Batman and Hippolyta fall into the crevice, still fighting the Horde as Batman sneaks up on Hippolyta. The hero apologizes for his stealth as he leads Hippolyta to what the minions were trying to keep them away from, which is an ice cavern under the glacier. Going into the ice cave, the heroes find Edward's physical body sealed in an orb of ice. Batman knows that Edward was in the ice absorbing the power from the Fortress of Solitude's crystals, which in turn upped his own powers, and once he was freed, he manifested avatars to search for his family. Hippolyta wonders if this is the man or what remains of him as the Queen goes to touch the man, wanting him to let them in to help as Batman contacts the League with their discovery. Superman tells him to keep the Frost King inside the glacier and they'll be there shortly, but Black Adam overhears the location of the king, speeding off to kill the man and end this endless winter. Adam smashes into the glacier, intending on doing what should have been done centuries ago, but if Hippolyta and Batman wish to stand in his way, he will move them. Superman suddenly arrives, grabbing Black Adam and taking him clear of the ice, telling him that he's the only one who will be moved today. On his way out of the ice, Clark tells Diana to help her mother and Batman, since he and Adam have some unfinished business to deal with. Green Lantern isn't too pleased the situation just got more difficult, as Adam knows Clark helped create this mess with what he left behind, wondering who appointed him and the other heroes as protectors of Earth, since they are more than useless, they are a menace. He blasts Superman with his lightning vision as Diana hopes her mother will hurry up and do what she intends to do. Batman hopes that they can reach through to Edward, since if not, something drastic will need to happen to the man. Superman speeds Adam away from the battle as the villain says that he will not forget this, something Clark agrees with. The Frost King continues to battle the Swamp Thing, who cannot withstand the souped up villain's power, overcome by it as Green Lantern and Flash are also overcome by it, with Flash being frozen in place by the endless winter. The ice soon soon gives way to Aquaman and his Fire Troll army, which free Barry as Arthur apologizes for being late, coming as soon as he could bring order to Atlantis. John finds the trolls are going to come in handy as the heroes beat back the ice monsters with them. The heroes catch Aquaman up on what's been happening with the Frost King and his family, and Arthur knows he needs to stop missing meetings. John constructs a plane and borrows a few of the ice trolls, intending on helping out Swamp Thing, as inside the cavern, Hippolyta tries again to reach Edward, telling him that they are there to help as John drops his fire troll soldiers onto the king, hurting him with their fire as Edward screams in pain. Hippolyta tells him not to let despair decide what he is, but the man blasts Hippolyta back, telling her that she killed his son and buried his family, and it's too late for him now since he is the Endless Winter and a monster. The queen knows he's only those things if he chooses to be, but he made a mistake and they all make mistakes and they can help him right that wrong. He soon spots Wonder Woman in her new armor, spotting the sigil on the armor, the same sigil of his family's clan, causing him to reach for Wonder Woman's hand. Above the cave, the Frost King's avatar unleashes all of its power as Green Lantern knows that it's out of control and they need to contain it before it gets worse. He tries to contain it with a shield construct, but the being's power explodes from it as Wonder Woman and Hippolyta pull Edward from the ice orb. Swamp Thing moves in for the killing blow, destroying the avatar along with himself. The ice horde begins to melt as Black Adam frees himself from Superman's grip, saying that this is done for now, but it is far from over. The League regroup, finding that both the avatar and Swamp Thing are just husks now, with Swamp Thing going back to his search for a new avatar. In the aftermath, the world begins to come alive again as Hippolyta sees off Viking Prince, telling John that they could always find him a body if he wants to continue the fight, but the man knows he's more than happy to return to Valhalla and the reward he has more than earned. The ghost leaves and Hippolyta tells her daughter that they couldn't have done it without her help, since her failure was finally made right by her daughter, and a mother couldn't ask for more. The news soon reports on Sebastian Stagg being taken into custody for his role in the disaster as Black Adam delivers yet another challenge to the UN, telling them that the Justice League failed in their mission to protect the world and the days of blind obedience to their heroes must end. Black Adam knows that while the fools of the rest of the world have sowed for so long, it is time they now reaped. In the Hall of Justice, John and Bobo put the finishing touches on the League's Christmas tree as Barry arrives, asking if John has any plans since he and Iris would love to have him over on Christmas Day. John finds that very kind of his friend, accepting the offer as Bobo says that he'll also bring the Christmas spirits, prompting Barry to tell him he can come as well since it's all about family. At the newly reconstructed Fortress of Solitude, Batman likes what Superman has done with the place, learning Clark knew it was safer to rebuild here so the crystal site is secure from threats. They watch as Stagg is taken to jail before turning their attention to their guest, learning from Wonder Woman that Edward is ready. Clark asks if this is really what he wants and Diana says that this is the best they can offer him until they can find a safe way to unseal his family from the Kryptonian crystals. Edward's scans soon finish and he tells the heroes that he wants to be with his family. Diana suggests that he could stay and experience the world while they work to help his family, but Edward says that his family are his world, and all he ever wanted was to be with his family, and he's waited for so long, but he can wait a little longer. Batman understands the man's choice to be with his family as Edward says he never truly meant any harm in his search for his family, and he hopes he can be forgiven for his sins as he enters the cryopod, thanking the heroes for saving him as he is frozen yet again. Superman says that this isn't the ending they would have wished for, but Wonder Woman knows that while Edward sleeps, he will dream of his family. Eons ago in the 10th century, Hippolyta beats Black Adam around Egypt, demanding the man get back in his tomb. Adam knows that she'll now suffer the consequences for not leaving this alone as Swamp Thing restrains the villain with his vines. The wizard says that he had hoped Adam would mend his ways, but he continues to disappoint him. Adam proclaims that he is the wizard's champion, demanding to know why he sides with these heroes. As he is taken to his tomb, Adam is told by the wizard that it's because he's proven unworthy of the power he was granted by him, and he has forced the wizard to seal him away again. Adam knows that he doesn't deserve this, and no matter how long he is trapped, the world will pay the price eventually. The wizard knows that that's why this needs to happen, casting his magic and sealing the tomb once again, telling Hippolyta and Swamp Thing that perhaps he will one day learn and become worthy of the power, but for now, this will all end. Justice League Endless Winter Issue 2 capped off a wonderful little event that was a pretty refreshing change of pace from the usual multiversal ending stories that DC usually do. I enjoyed the smaller scale of the story here and the group of characters involved, and as I've said in my past review for the series, it's like an entry-level event for new readers. You got familiar characters that everyone knows like Batman and Superman, Flash and Wonder Woman, with one or two lesser known characters like Swamp Thing or even Viking Prince, and gives them a little bit to do and a little bit of a time to shine, and people will get to know these characters and hopefully want to read more about them. I enjoyed that the villain wasn't defeated per se, the heroes actually managed to save him and plan on helping him. Whether we actually see that play out, however, is something I'm not sure about, given that we've got Future State and whatever happens after that with Infinite Frontier, but it would be really cool if this actually gets a sequel next December and kind of becomes like a yearly thing. Around December we get like an Endless Winter story or a sequel or something to do with these characters. Ron Mars and Andy Lanning did a great job giving all of the heroes something to do over the event. No one was ever left out of anything, and they all played a pretty cool role in what they had to do. And we even got a pretty wholesome Christmas message about holidays being for the family and being around family. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.